Hey, Armand here with your forecast for the week of June 27th, 2021. Your astrology forecast, that is. Not your weather forecast, your astrological weather forecast, if you want to be that way about it. All right, well, that was quite a week we had last week, huh? That was something else. We had the Mercury station, we had the Neptune station, we had the Sun trine Jupiter. There was, the full moon in Capricorn. Hey, that full moon in Capricorn. If you trace it back, it is at the same degree as the eclipse in December 2019, the December 2019 eclipse. That was a solar eclipse, a new moon, and then the first quarter moon at the same degree was last September. And so this is the full moon, kind of the culmination perhaps of something that began in late December 2019. If you have something right on those points. It, I found some interesting stuff happening. I thought I would mention that. Now, last week, good week for inspiration, not so good for practical purposes. It takes time, I think, to you could get great ideas, but how do you turn those great ideas into great realities? That could take some time. We could have to walk that out over the course of some time. Do hold on to the ideas. In some sense or another, they may need to be modified or changed, but on the other hand, it's not the case that they necessarily, everything has to be chucked out. In fact, as early as the beginning part of this week, you can start to work on things like that. So, how can I make this work? So, this is another week that is kind of exciting. I feel it's not quite like what we've been through over the course of the last month, but it has some dynamic energy in it as well. We start on Sunday with the moon in Aquarius. It's already kind of out there in Aquarius. So uh, more or less, the exciting stuff has already happened on Saturday or early on Sunday. The moon is going to be void for quite a bit of time. Almost, it's about 22 hours until Monday afternoon, when it goes into Pisces, and a waning Pisces moon. Well, that's a nice energy, actually. So Monday afternoon, Tuesday, and a good part of Wednesday, I feel, have a great energy to do things in a kind of productive sort of way. There's a lot of nice aspects in there too. So there's your real opportunity period this week. There's where at Wednesday night the moon goes into Aries, and even if it's a waning moon, it's still in Aries. And Mars is quite busy this week. Actually, Mars will be helping out with some relationship types of things too, as he trines Juno and makes some nice aspects and so on. Uh, on a Tuesday, Wednesday type of thing. I don't know. Could be good. Um, but then on earliest Thursday morning, Mars is opposite to Saturn. So we should be feeling this energy from later on Wednesday. Even with the moon in Pisces, we'll still be feeling it, but especially when the moon goes into Aries, and through very strongly through Thursday morning. Now, Mars opposite Saturn. This is driving when you've got, your foot stomping on the accelerator, Mars in fiery Leo, and at the same time the parking brake is on, right? This is that kind of like, this containment of energy that can be quite frustrating, and it can certainly lead to it can lead to failure to act. Is pretty much the way you think about it. You kind of want to go forward and you kind of don't. Mars in Leo very much wants to go forward. Yeah, let's do it. I feel it. I got the heart for it. And then there's Saturn in Aquarius, so you may encounter rules, or maybe a sense of like, how is the group going to handle this, and what are other people going to say? Is this the right thing to do? So Saturn is sort of providing that sort of structure kind of thing, and holding back Mars and that impetuous energy. Again, the moon is in Aries, so you're really feeling it, right? This is, the moon is also, Aries is Mars' sign. The moon is also pushing you to go forward, and we have this Saturnian energy. Okay, well, we continue to feel that as the moon aspects both Saturn and Mars all day Thursday. So this is kind of the vibe for Thursday. If you're in Europe, and the farther east you are in Europe, the more you're feeling this, okay, on Thursday, because you'll have the aspect later. On the east coast of the U.S., the aspect is exact at about 9 a.m., and on the west coast, 6 a.m., although you'll feel you have a longer time with the moon in Aries on Wednesday night. Most of the time, these aspects are strongest when they're building, and then when they're exact, and then they trail off. You can think about it like any kind of an event, like a holiday or something like that. There's the anticipation, and then there's the event, and then then there's a little bit of an after feel for it, but it's different. So that's what we have most of Thursday, and then on Friday the energy shifts because Mars is going to come into a square with Uranus. By this time, the moon will be in Taurus and will be meeting with Uranus over the weekend, Friday, Saturday time. The moon is approaching Uranus. And so, once again, the moon is again stoking things up. Now, Mars-Uranus aspects are almost the diametric opposite of Mars-Saturn aspects. Mars-Saturn contains the energy and the frustration of not being able to move, that push-pull, unable to get moving type of thing. Mars-Uranus is an explosive, boom, pushing forward type of energy where it's impulsive, it is impatient, it is extraordinarily volatile, would be a good word. So after being contained at midweek, we're set free, and perhaps, like the farther you pull the bow back and the more tension there is, Mars-Saturn, and you let go, the more it's going to shoot forward and perhaps shoot a little erratically in this case. It's worth noting that July 3rd, Saturday, July 3rd, is just the day before the U.S. holiday of July 4th. And I don't want to be too U.S.-centric about things, but we're in a pretty volatile place in the country, and then here comes this aspect, right on the big birthday, right on the solar return of the U.S. And so, we might, well, you know how it is. Mars is also setting off that Saturn-Uranus square. That was part of last week. It was exact last week. So Mars is setting that off. Now, Saturn-Uranus square has a lot to do with, you break down the old so that the new can emerge. And, and maybe sometimes also throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's another possibility. When you have the revolution there, you kind of want to get rid of everything, and you're not necessarily thinking about it all that clearly, and not necessarily valuing everything. Well, that's a relatively slow-moving aspect in the sky, right? We don't expect immediate results from a Saturn-Uranus square. We feel what's going on around the time. We look and see what's happening on the day that it's exact, but we don't really expect an awful lot to happen, right there. And then we get something like Mars coming in and aspecting Saturn and Uranus in a space of a couple of days. And that's what we call a trigger, right? There's where you get something to happen. There's where something manifests, because Mars is an action planet. And so, Saturn and Uranus, they're struggling out, the ideals, what's the right thing to do, which way should we go? Mars has no patience for any of that. Mars comes in and says, no, we're making changes. Here they come. Watch out. So it's a good idea to look at the end of the week into the weekend and see what's going on in the world of politics and social stuff, especially in the U.S., because things get heightened around the solar return of the U.S. It's like, it's like your birthday type of thing. The sun gets back to the place it was when you were born, and it's a weird sort of energy, isn't it? I mean, it's all, ostensibly it's all about the celebration on the outside, right? This is all about, the cake and the candles and whatever. And yet internally, birthdays, particularly as time goes on. But internally, birthdays are a little bit more difficult. They're a time of reflection, right? The sun, who you are. It's a time of like, well, who am I? It's not the most buoyant time. It's almost like the celebration is there to kind of, in a way, sort of like cheer us up. It's more like a comforting type of thing as opposed to a real celebration. Anyways, that's sort of where that happens with happens with any country. It happens with the U.S. for sure. So we're definitely at a time when we would be thinking about who we are and where we are going. And here comes this Mars, Saturn, Uranus thing happening right beforehand. It's liable to be pretty tense in many ways, and some folks with this kind of energy, with that constraint and release type of energy, some folks are going to behave poorly. Some of the fireworks could really be going off. So you want to you want to be aware of that. Use the energy productively for yourself. If you're feeling a lot of energy around this time and you don't know what to do with yourself, I mean, Mars Saturn is great for focusing. Right? You don't want to multitask at midweek. You want to pick one task and just stick to it. You could really do great stuff if you can stick to it. The Mars Uranus aspect, as we get Friday, Saturday type of thing, it's a little harder to contain. So if you have a lot of extra energy, go do some sensible exercise, not ridiculous exercise. Not like I'm gonna, like I've been on the couch for a year and a half and now watch me go climb a mountain or something like that. Do something sensible, but go for a walk or something, burn off some of that energy. And watch out, because not everybody is going to be handling the energy all that well, and there could be flashes of volatility, and people could be misbehaving because they feel the energy and they don't know what to do with it. Not you. You're good. So the beginning of the week, we're looking at a Monday, Tuesday, most of Wednesday. Be great for, it's a productive time. There's a lot of energy around, but it's very easy to use. That void time up until 2 p.m. Eastern time, so about 11 a.m. Pacific time, and then late in the day in Europe. That void time is great for just cleaning things up, just doing regular routine tasks. It's not a real initiation thing. Just sort things out. Clean up, file things. Then Wednesday, Thursday, especially Thursday, focus task. Friday, Saturday, a little more volatile. It could be fun, but it's a little bit more volatile. All right, that's easy, right? You got it?